Sometimes I wonder what I put in my soul. I wonder if it's good for me. Sometimes I wonder if it's taking its toll. I wonder if it's good for me.
We're going to be answering the question, possibly, of is LeCrae a sellout? So, if you follow anything in the Christian rap scene, you may have heard talk that LeCrae may be a sellout. I want you to give your thoughts first. Do you think that LeCrae is a sellout?
Okay. I'm going to say no, I do not think LeCrae is a sellout.
Wait, hold on. Okay, actually, scratch all that out. Let's talk about old LeCrae versus new LeCrae. So, here's some of my thoughts on old LeCrae. Old LeCrae, I would say is more overtly Christian. Would you agree with that statement?
Yeah.
This is from LeCrae's song, Take Me As I Am, and this is from his album. What album is this from?
That is from his first album, Real Talk.
When I first started to listen to LeCrae, this is like the song that I would always listen to. A few of the lyrics include, I talked to Kat the other day, and he was like, man, I really want to come to Christ, but I gotta clean my life up first, get my sins together. I told him I used to think that way too. I thought I had to change myself before I could come to Christ, but Christ changed me. And then he talks about his story of coming to Christ. A few of others, the lyrics include, my whole life's full of sin because it's all I know. The Bible told me that you died for my sins. If I believe in Christ, it will save me from the end. Then the chorus goes, will you take me as I am? I know the way I'm living is wrong, but I can't change on my own, trying to make it alone. I wonder, how could you love me when my life is so ugly, but you came down and died for me? And that whole song is just about him coming to Christ. And it's really cool. And it's talking about Jesus. So that I would say that's a lot of old LeCrae songs, right? A lot of it's like that. Overtly Christian. I guess you could say it's evangelism. Let's talk about new LeCrae. How is LeCrae changed?
Well, he's become a lot more talented, I could say that. But new LeCrae, his lyrics to somebody that has listened to old LeCrae and now is listening to new LeCrae would say, well, okay, he's kind of watered down the explicitness of how he talks about God and whatnot. The music is still really good, but a lot of people say, well, he's watered it down. Now, to someone who hasn't listened to LeCrae will probably say, man, this guy's really good. I really love his music. And they'll say there's a positive message in it. They may not say anything about God or whatnot, depending on the song. He does still make songs that are just about Christianity, or makes a song that's not that it's bad. But a lot of people I heard that are like non-believers or haven't been on old LeCrae will say it has a positive message.
And what is a lot of his positive messages in new LeCrae?
Okay, well, obviously one of his big hits that's come out that's been like on Billboard and stuff is the song Blessings he has, where it just talks about not taking everything you have for granted. I mean, he mentions God in the song and all. And then he also likes to talk about, the whole race issues that have come up. He likes to talk about that in his music. I mean, there was even a song he had where he talked about the fact that you should not complain about having a crappy car. I love that song. But there's just stuff like that in his music.
Yeah. So one thing that I noticed about new LeCrae is that he talks a lot about God. Now, okay, so here's my opinion on this. A lot of people talk about God.
Yeah.
And secular rappers talk about God. But how many people talk about Jesus? Because, God is like the staple of America. God bless America. But how many people say, Jesus bless America? It's not. When you say Jesus, you're hitting on a nail. You're striking. The Bible says that Jesus says that people will hate me. It doesn't say people. I was going somewhere with that, but that's okay. But basically, LeCrae talks a lot about God in New LeCrae, but I think he could talk about Jesus more, because people are okay with God, but people are not okay with Jesus. Actually, LeCrae, in one of his newer songs, Sidelines, he talks about how people think he's a sellout. And so he addresses this in his song. He says, "Biz busy on the boards, I hear him cheering from the sidelines. Wait, hold up, I think they hatin'. People told me to take my time, right? Nah, they tired of waiting. They say, Craig, you sold your soul, man. For real? Who bought it? Let the spirit take control, man. I don't go nowhere without him." So he's addressing this topic of selling a soul, being a sellout, and he's saying, who bought my soul? And it's Jesus. And no matter where I go, the Spirit's going to be with me. So he definitely has not abandoned the gospel. I would say without a doubt, LeCrae has not abandoned the gospel. But what I really want to ask the question is this the right move for him to make, is kind of water it down a little bit? Because I think that he kind of has watered down a little bit.
He has a little. Okay, I'm just gonna talk right now.
All right, go ahead.
And before I say any of this, I do want to throw this out there. I don't really like to criticize artists at all, because I'm not them. I'm not LeCrae. And honestly, what the music they make is ultimately, it's more for them than it is for us. Like, since they're the ones that created it, they're the ones that are gonna relate to it the most. So I don't really like to throw a bunch of criticism out there. I'm just going to voice my opinion about it. But I don't really like to throw the criticism, because I'm not them. It's what they created. Now, there's a lot of perspectives I've heard on this topic. And I have honestly, I've sided with all of them. I haven't been able to find like somewhere where I can meet in the middle. I've sided with all of them. I was like, I hear this one, I'm like, okay, I actually like that one, but then I like this one. The first one that I agree with is the fact that the music he made at the beginning of his career, he kind of made for the church, mainly because the music is very churchy. Only people that are Christians are gonna understand it. Like, you could have a non-believer listen to it, but they may not really understand it. His new music, people in the world can understand it better. It relates better to them. And you could say, well, as he has grown his brand, as he's grown, his following, he's making music that everyone can relate to. So he's kind of branched out from the church. He's kind of going out into the world now. But the thing you can also say, to counter that, is, okay, while he had a smaller following, he was comfortable with making this music. Now he's gotten bigger, and he's not as comfortable with making that music, so he's watered it down. So you can take either sides of that. The music, what is in the music isn't really what I'm concerned about. Like, I got onto LeCrae, like, I think the first full album I listened to was Church Clothes Volume 2. I listened to some of Gravity, but I listened to Church Clothes Volume 2, and like, I absolutely love that album. And I gone back and listened to his other stuff. So the fact that he's made like this other music, his new music, it doesn't really concern me, because I still know who LeCrae is. And he's the guy that really got me into Christian hip hop. He's like the first guy I ever heard of. Now the other side of it that a lot more people have been talking about as of late is who he's collaborating with. Now, I remember in the album Gravity, he had a song with Big Crit, and obviously he's a secular rapper. He had a song with Ty Dolla $ign just recently. He's collabed with B.O.B., King Mez, and all these guys. And you could say, okay, well, he's out there working with these people. That's a good look. He's reaching out to these people. He's making positive music with them and all. You could say that, but then here's the part where I side with the most, honestly, is the fact that, okay, say he's on a song with Big Crit, all right? Now say, okay, I was to go out to a ministry site or somewhere, and I was to bring a non-believer with me, and they were to preach the same message I'm preaching, but they're not Christians. Like, what look does that give for them? That shows, like, if they see how they're living, the message is it doesn't mean anything.
It's invalid.
It's invalid because they're not actually living it.
That's my big criticism on the associations that he has.
Yes. Now, obviously, you can't say much because, that's LeCrae and we're us. We don't have much say on that. But, and then there's this other dude that I was listening to, and he made a good point, like, okay, you're playing the song Mayday by LeCrae on the church bus with the song Big Crit in it, and they hear him rapping, and they're like, who's this guy? And then you tell them who it is, and they look it up, and now they're exposed to all this, and they're like, dude, this guy was just rapping about Jesus and stuff, and now I listen to his old music, and he's rapping about drugs and money and all this. So that's the issue I kind of have with it. And while he's doing all this, also the Christian hip hop community kind of feel shunned by LeCrae. Like, I know there was this thing a couple months ago where Dayton from God Over Money had made a video about LeCrae after he had been on Sway in the Morning, and he kind of like low-key shunned Christian rappers, and Dayton kind of made this video. He's like, yo, like, you should be standing up for us. You kind of just revolutionize this whole movement. So as you see LeCrae getting a bigger following, he seems like he may like be shunning the Christian hip hop community, which I don't think is true, but it does seem like that for a lot of people, because a lot of people that were on old LeCrae, like, they see him out, with all these people with this bigger following, the message water down there, they feel like offended because like LeCrae has gotten a lot of people, like, he's changed a lot of lives. Like, a lot of people have become Christians through his music, and now they see what he's doing now, and they kind of feel like left out. Like, LeCrae discipled me to who I am today, and now I can't really relate to what he's rapping. So I mean, those are all my opinions on it.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you a statement, and you've already heard the statement before, but I want you to respond to it. I'm not a Christian rapper, but I'm a rapper who's Christian. What's your response to that? That's something that LeCrae has said.
I mean, I don't really have too much of an opinion on it. I mean, I think I don't know. This question makes me weird. Because like, you came into the game as a Christian rapper, but now you don't want to be turned like everyone knows you as that. So like, why not just own the label?
Yeah, that's your platform.
Yeah. But I do understand what he's saying though when he says that. If he's labeled as a Christian rapper, then people who aren't Christian be like, okay, wait, that's not for me. He's a Christian rapper.
Right. I think what LeCrae is trying to do in that statement is that he's trying to relate to secular people. He's trying to bring them over. So it's almost, I don't want to say, I don't know if this is really representing him correctly, but it kind of sounds like he's afraid to identify with Christian rap. Now, let's compare that to Chance the Rapper, because we're going to have another video that just discusses Chance the Rapper's Christianity. Now, one of the things about Chance the Rapper is that, and we're not going to discuss whether Chance the Rapper is a Christian or not, but he says that he is a Christian. And he's not afraid of that. He uses that to his advantage. And Chance the Rapper has a humongous platform, and he's not afraid to do that. And through most eyes, Chance the Rapper is a secular rapper, but he's still proclaiming God. And then LeCrae is over here like, well, I'm a Christian, but I'm not a Christian rapper, and people are not going to relate to me because I do Christian rap. Kind of like that. It's kind of like LeCrae. I mean, really, what do you mean? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, if you look at Chance the Rapper's music, I mean, you could. A couple months ago, I was saying, yeah, I believe he's a Christian. I believe he could be reaching out to people with what he's doing, but I mean, honestly, what LeCrae's doing is better because the whole substance of his music is obviously more positive.
I agree
Chance
with
the Rapper has,
and then we're going to be talking about Chance the Rapper in a different video.
Yeah, I won't say too much about him, but yeah, I mean,
but it's just the fact that Chance the Rapper's not afraid.
Yeah, he's not, and I think part of the reason is because he has created this brand around him where just speak out for what you believe in, just be yourself. And LeCrae has kind of started doing the same thing, but I mean, a lot of people like no one really like hates Chance the Rapper, like I feel like he feels free to just say what he wants, and people will accept, because like the thing is, if he says that, he's like I love God, I'm not afraid to say that, people are just gonna be like, oh, okay, Chance the Rapper said it, whatever. But but then they hear his other music and they're like, they don't think anything of it.
Yeah, that's true.
And I encourage LeCrae to continue what he's doing. He's obviously still putting that message out there, that people need. But I would love, like a dream come true would just him just come out with a whole album that are just like one of his first 2 albums. Like that'd be amazing if he did that.
A few last thoughts I want to make. I do like LeCrae's music. I think his music is maturing. He's becoming a better rapper. The associations that he makes with people kind of concerns me. But I wholeheartedly believe LeCrae is a Christian.
Yeah, there's no doubt he's fallen away or anything.
Right. I would encourage LeCrae to become more evangelistic in his music. And another point on that is that what you win them with is what you win them to. So if you use Christian rap as your tool of evangelism, if in your rap you talk of a very shallow Christianity of like, God is going to bless me and I just got to be a good person and racism's bad, which it is bad, by the way. But if that's it, if it's more of a social gospel instead of a Jesus gospel, then if that's what you're rapping about, that's what you're going to win them to. And a social gospel doesn't save. It's the Jesus gospel that saves. So I would say if you're using rap as an evangelistic tool, actually, be evangelistic with it. So I guess that's my final thought. But I don't think that LeCrae is a sellout.
I don't think he is either.
But I do think he needs to be careful.
I mean, he even made his, like you mentioned the song Silence, he even made a song on Church Clothes too called Sellout.
He understands that people think he's a sellout.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's brought up to his attention. So that's all I got. If you like this video, give it a like. If you don't like this video, I still want you to like it, but I won't force you to. Comment on if you think LeCrae's a sellout, or comment on whatever comes to your mind, what you ate today, whatever. If you have any questions, ask us and share. That's all I got.